Hey guys, this is Kaim Interviews. We are here with August Burns Red, a portion at least. If you could introduce your name and position in the band.
Hey, my name is JB Brubaker, and I play guitar.
Awesome. So we're going to start off with some icebreakers real quick. Okay. If you could save the world with one other person, who would it be?
Tour manager Josh Bowman. He is a good problem solver.
Can I hear an example?
Oh, boy. Okay, he's kind of MacGyver-y. He sewed a button onto my shirt with some of his pubes that he tied into thread for me on this tour, which was really cool. So
that is amazing. I don't have that talent, but that is really cool. Good choice. All right, so the other icebreaker, if you could replace one living artist with someone from the dead, who would that be?
I'd love Kurt Cobain to come back. I think it'd be cool to see what he would have done. And I don't want to kill someone. That's so mean.
Just wipe him off.
Okay, let's get Bieber out of there. I'm sick of it, and I don't care.
Exactly. Me too. All right, so how's the tour going? Anything crazy happened so far for you guys?
I don't know that anything crazy has happened. That's always like, what's the crazy thing that's going on? I don't know. It's pretty like run of the mill, but the tour's been good. The shows have been really fun, as freaking boring as that sounds. But I don't know. We're only like 10 of 40 shows in, so we have a lot of potential for crazy to come.
So what have the fan reactions been to this new album on this tour opposed to Warped Tour? Because you guys did get to play a lot of that stuff on Warped Tour.
Well, on Warped we did 2 new songs, which was cool, but the album, like you said, had just come out. So the reaction to new songs on this tour has been a lot better, simply because I think people have had more time to sit with the record and learn the songs, learn the lyrics, and it's nice to get out there and, play a bunch of new stuff and have kids jumping around and screaming the words back at us. It's been fun.
Is that something that you guys are kind of cautious about, is playing too many new songs when people don't know? Is that kind of nerving?
Well, certainly, and I'll just say from my own experience, when I was a kid going to see shows, I was always bummed when bands would play a lot of new stuff that I didn't know, that was unreleased especially. Like, we could have played some new songs before our record was even out, but it's not as fun to go watch a band play songs you haven't heard before. You want to hear the songs you want to hear, and, this was our 5th album, so we had a lot of stuff to pull from in the first place. So I think it's important to kind of keep work your new stuff in slowly over time, I think.
Yeah, and that's another one of my questions too, which perfectly leads in, but is it kind of hard to create a set list at this point in your guys' career when you have so many albums out and there's just people that want the old music only and there's people that want the new music only and there's people in the middle,
Yeah. It can get tricky, especially because even within the band, there's different songs that we want to be doing. And like on this tour, for example, we're not playing anything off of our first record, Thrill Seeker. And that was something that we kind of went back and forth as a band about, like, should we not? And certainly you have people who are commenting on the social networks like, hey, play this or that of old songs and stuff. But if we don't hear you like screaming for it in the crowd, we don't feel as compelled to play it if it's like an old song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I apologize to any of you who wanted to hear the 7th trumpet on this tour. We're not playing it.
What is your favorite song to play live?
At the moment, I'm really enjoying playing Animals, which is a song that we just started playing on this tour. We'd never played it before. And I don't know. The new songs are more fun for me just because they're fresh and... Yeah. And that, I look forward to the parts in the set where I get to do, new stuff.
Heck yeah. All right, so you guys recently came out with your music video for Provision, like quite recently.
Yeah.
And so why Provision out of every song on this new record?
That was a standout track for us as a band. We just really liked that song. We thought it was really heavy, and we thought it was a good representation of a lot of different kind of elements. It's got fast parts, heavy parts, chill-ish part in the middle, I guess. I don't know. It was just one of those songs that we liked a lot, and we thought we could make a pretty interesting music video with it.
Yeah.
Which I think we did. I really like the music video that we made for Provision. It's my favorite video we've ever done. So I'm stoked on it. Hopefully, the fans like it as well.
Yeah. And that's actually my next question. You guys did say that it is your favorite video. Why is it your favorite video?
Well, I'm one of the guys who isn't necessarily like a huge. I'm not a music video guy to begin with, and I feel like a lot of the videos we've done in the past are they're fine, you know, but I'm seldom like whoa, that was cool. And Provision was the first video that we've done where like I was actually excited about it. Like I saw like a clip of it as it was coming together. Like it took a long time to make and edit, but I was like, wow, this video is actually going to be really sweet. And you know, I don't know if everyone's going to share my sentiment, but that it came out to be something that I think is special and much more interesting to watch than the band playing, you know, in a white room or whatever, you know.
That's abandoned house.
Exactly. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so your documentary is coming out actually very soon, Foreign and Familiar. So what can you tell us about it, and what inspired you guys to want something like that again? Because I know you guys had a documentary in the past.
Well, we did more of like a live album type thing with a very short like tour documentary. It was only like a half hour. In 2010 we did that. So this time we wanted to do something a little more comprehensive. We wanted like something that enveloped an entire album cycle. So we brought a video guy out and literally flew him. We played so many countries on the Leveler cycle and did a lot of stuff. And not only did we think it would be cool for people who are into our band to kind of get that like that backstage access, I guess, as cliche as that sounds, but us personally as guys want that when, you know, we're old and gray and have grandkids, we can be like, hey, check out what Grandpa used to do. Like it's a good like timepiece for us to have as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys mentioned in the preview for it that you're going to be touring for like over a year and a half, and this is obviously a super ambitious tour. You know, this tour cycle that you guys are on. Yeah. And so, what is the best and worst part of touring for you guys during that time, and what keeps you inspired to be on the road for that long?
Well, easily the most motivating thing is playing the actual shows. To get out on the stage and have people like stoked that you're there, regardless of where you are in the world, that's easily the biggest motivator. And that helps to keep us going if we're really tired or just have a cold or whatever and things aren't going well. The hardest part is simply being away from home and, you know, loved ones. That's probably every band's the hardest part for almost every band, and especially some of the international touring can get very exhausting depending on how much flying you're doing. For instance, we did a pretty extensive tour of Australia and Asia in April of 2012, and yeah, that's documented well on the DVD. But we flew so much, and we were just completely worn out. It was the most brutal tour I've ever done in my life.
So how do you guys think this album compares to past releases, both lyrically and musically?
Musically, I think it's a big step forward for us. It's you know, it was our most ambitious effort as far as just trying new things and trying to kind of expand the August Burns Red sound. Lyrically, I think it's really strong lyrically too. We kind of approach the lyrics in the same manner that we have on all of our albums, in which everyone kind of contributed here and there on different songs. It wasn't just one person writing all the lyrics, and for that reason, we were able to kind of pull the best songs from each of us. You know, we all wrote a bunch of different songs, and then we read them all, and then scored them on a scale of 1 to 4, and whichever songs had the most points were the songs that we used. So it was very democratic and methodical, but I think it worked out well. I hope.
How do you guys write on the road? Because obviously this tour is going to be a while. And so how do you guys find time to prepare for your next album? Because I know you guys do write a lot. You guys almost have an album out every single year, like one a year.
We try to keep busy with that. A lot of the writing actually takes place at home between tours. That's kind of, I know I kind of make that like my job when I'm home. Like I try to sit down and work on songs and stuff, especially I don't have any other jobs besides August Burns Red. So when I am home, I have the time during the day where I can devote it to trying to write more stuff. But as far as writing on tour, we don't do that as much as we used to. We have a couple little practice amps that we can jam on. But but I use that more for warming up than actual like trying to write new stuff at this point.
So this album reached number 9 on the Billboard 200, and that's the highest you guys have received so far. Is that something that you guys kind of expected, or was it like, what was it seeing those numbers come in?
It was something that we were hoping for more so, just based on the success of Leveler, since that had hit at number 11. So we knew there was the possibility that maybe we go top 10, and fortunately we did, which was really exciting for all of us. As they're starting to project the numbers and where everything else is coming in. We definitely never envisioned us being a top 10 band when we started out, especially since we don't sing, traditional clean vocals very often. So I don't know. It's still one of those. I guess that's going to be one of those cool like little bragging points that we'll be able to have for when we have kids. Like, yeah, Daddy had a top 10 album.
Big milestone. Yeah. What's that like when you guys, because you guys are from a small town, what's it like with your hometown friends being like, yeah, so and so, those guys, they're freaking reached top 10 on the Billboard. Like, what's that like? It's
funny because we don't even like talk about that stuff much when we're home in between tours. Like, our friends have been our friends since we are a local band to now, and they treat us the same regardless of the success the band has, which we like. That's cool. I wouldn't want them to think differently of us based on what we're doing as a job. Yeah. So our parents are proud of us and stuff, and our families more so than our friends are like. I don't know if any of my friends were like, yo, like, cool, you got a top 10. Like, they don't care. They're like, yeah, let's go watch the game.
Yeah. That's funny. So with that, what did you guys do differently for this album because of the success? What did you guys do differently, either preparing for the studio or in the studio, that helped you, step this record up?
Well, I guess we tried to avoid the cliches that were happening in the genre that we personally didn't like. There's a lot of things in metalcore that are happening regularly right now that we're not necessarily, we don't find them that interesting. Yeah. So we wanted to avoid those sorts of things and try to make sure that we were staying ahead of the curve. We didn't want to fall into the heap of monotony that is most metalcore at the moment, I guess. Right. And as we're getting older and doing more and more albums, that's our tastes in music are changing too, which is helping, and that's seeping into what we're writing, and that's only natural. So we're kind of pulling in different influences than we would have, when we were writing in 2005 versus now.
Yeah, and like back to those like kind of roots. Hate to go back to that, but what was a defining moment in August Burns Red that you were like, wow, we're more than just like a garage band? Before the top 10, I mean, you guys were obviously a substantial band.
Well, we had a lot of those, and some of them were certainly less significant than others. I think when we signed with our first like record label, CI Records, and put out an EP, I mean, it was just a small local thing, and it never was like a big album. And admittedly, it's not very good, but. That was one of those times where we were like, wow, we're starting to do something with this. And then we started doing, did our first tour, and then did our first like full U.S. tour. I think especially when we signed with Solid State in 2005, that was kind of like, all right, we're going for it now. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, and what do you think it's like seeing, the future as, unpredictable, and you don't know how it's gonna pan out for your life, other than music,
Yeah. Well, that is scary. The future can be scary when you don't know what's coming, but we're trying to make the best decisions to do this as long as we can and have, as much longevity as is possible. We've been a band for a while and put out a lot of records now, and people seem to still care about us. So hopefully if we just keep plugging away, we'll be able to maintain the momentum that we've established and do this for, I'd love to do it for as long as I can. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, and I think you guys are doing a good job at that, staying busy with this tour and constant albums. So, and then lastly, what are you guys doing after, I guess, this little run with Bless the Fall? Just for fans that don't know, where is the tour heading?
The tour that we're on now, where are we going? Well, this tour we'll be going around the States. There's 2 shows in Canada, in Toronto and Montreal. But once we're done with Southern California, we head up to San Fran and then start heading back east. And then we haven't really done much, I guess, any East Coast yet, minus the first show in Philly. So we have a lot of places to hit yet.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is August Burns Red, and thank you for having us. And that's Kaim Interviews. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.